Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hassan Muhammad Ali Majbeh from Khawaja Nasiruddin Tusi University Megatronic Departments. We will talk today about my project. Recognize the human face with the help of image processing method. A typical face recognition system consists of the following three steps. The first one is face detection. Face detection has proceeded from rudimentary computer vision techniques to advance in machine learning. Increasingly sophisticated artificial neural networks and related technologies, the result has been continuous performance improvement. It now plays an important role as the first step in many key applications, including face tracking, face analysis, and facial recognition. Face detection has significant effect on how sequential operating will perform in application. The second one is feature extraction. Is a type of dimensionally reduction where a large number of pixels of the image are efficiently represented in such a way that interesting parts of image are captured effectively. And feature extraction is a process that independent important features or attributes of the data. Some examples of this technique are pattern recognize and identifying common thumbs among a large collection of documents. The third is face recognition. A human face. When you see a picture of a person, you have to say which image this person belongs to that you have seen before. This ISIS has two parts. Algorithms. There are several faces recognition algorithms, the most common of which are PCA. PCA is a statically approach used for reducing number of variables in face recognition, and the main idea of using PCA for face recognition is express the large 1D vector of pixels constructed from 2D functional image into the compact principal components of the feature space. This can be called Ignifiance project. The other one is ICA, Independent Components Analysis, is used to take a large data set consists of many variables and reduce it into a similar number of dimensions that can be understood as a self-recognized functional networks. The third one is LFDA, Local Feature Discrimination Analysis. Recently developed linear dimensionally reduction algorithm. It has been shown that LFDA is a strong analyzer of higher dimensional data. However, LFDA is a linear method, and this makes it difficult to describe the example non-linearity of face image. In addition, LFDA only focuses on using a single data described to inspect the whole face image database. EBGM, Elastic Bunch Graph Matching, is an algorithm in computer vision of for recognize object or object classes in an image based on graph presentation extract from other image. It has been prominently used in face recognition and analysis, but also for just races and other object classes. The last one is SVM, supported vector machine, which can be used for classification or regression problems. It uses a technique called kernel track to transform your data, and then based on this transformation it finds optimal boundary between the possible output. The principal component analysis PCA algorithm. The goal of PCA is to find vectors that based from the task of identically face. These vectors define the space of the face. Science, these vectors are the special vectors of correlation matrix related to the face image. They are also called ignitions because their similarity to the human face. Principal comment analysis is unsupervised learning algorithm that is used for the dimensionally reducing the machine learning. It is a statistical process that converts the observation of correlated feature into the sequelinear uncorrelated feature with the help of orthogonal transformation. These new transformation features are called the principal comments. It is one of the popular tools that used for exploratory data analysis and the predictive modeling. It is technique to draw strong patterns from the given data set by reducing the variance. PCA generally tries to find the lower dimensional surface to project the high dimensional data. PCA work by considering the variance of each attribute because the high attribute shows the good split between the classes and hence it reduces the dimensionality. Some real world application of PCA are image processing, move recommendation system, optimizing the power allocation in various communication channels. It is a feature extraction technique, so it continues the important variables and drop the last important variable. Calculation of ignitions, which can be named by T1, T2, T3, Tn. Be the training samples of face image. The main face is represented by this equation and phi equal, and we can find phi. Covariance matrix C also confined by these equations, and the output will be A. at IIT to IT. This slide, face recognition section. This can be included in two stages. The first one, analyzation, the face recognized system, which contain three parts: accurate training samples, then to calculate the eigen faces, and the other one is project face image into the face space. The system is ready to get another stage, which called recognition unknown face image, which start from project, the testing face image into face space. Then we will go to the get IgniFace components. The final one is calculate the occlusion distance between the input face image and training samples. Artificial neural networks. Artificial neural networks is a partial way to learn various functions, which real values function, would describe value and function with vectors value. Neural network learning is among educational data errors, and such a network have been successfully applied to ISO such speech recognize, image recognize, and interpretation or report learning. What is neural network? It is a calculate method that builds several processing units based on the interior connectedness. The network consists of arbitrary members of cells or nodes or units or neurons that related the input seed to the output. Now we can see in this slide the given figure illustrate the typical diagram of biological neural networks, which like a branch of a tree, have a centrifugal cell, a nucleus, and his axon, and synapse, which like fingers. The last diagram is the typical artificial neural network looks something like given multi-input, input 1, input 2, input 3, which is represented by x1, x2 to xn, or nodes, which continues by w1, w2 to wn, which components to neuron, and the y represented the output. Precipitation training. Perceptron training algorithm was designed to classify visual input, categorize subject into one of two types, and separation graphs with a line. Classifications in this important parts of machine learning and image processing machine learning algorithm find the classified pattern by many different mean that the, the pre-Sopotron algorithm classifies pattern and groups by defining the linear separation between different objects and patterns that are received through a numerical or visual input. But how do we learn the weights of signal pre-Sopotron so that the pre-Sopotron generates the correct value for the training example? Two different ways. The first one, pre-Sopotron law, and the second one, delta law. Pre-Sopotron learning algorithm has two divisions. The first one is we assign a random values to weights, and the second one we apply pre-Sopotron to each instructional example. If the example is evaluated incorrectly, we correct the values of pre-Sopotron weights. And the third one are all training examples evaluated correctly? If yes, beta is fine algorithm. If no, we will turn the second state. Backpropagation. Backpropagation is the science of neural network training. It is method of fine-tuning the weight of neural network based on the error rate obtained in the previous epoch. As example, iteration. Proper training of weights allows you to reduce error rate and make model reliable by increasing its generalization. An algorithm for supervised learning of artificial neural network using a coordinate descent. The backpropagation algorithm works by computing the gradient of this function with respect to each weight by chain rule, computing the gradient one layer at a time, iteration backward from the last layer to avoid redundant calculation of intermediation terms in the chain rule. Backpropagation algorithm calculating the derivative of cost function with respect to each theta with parameter. By doing this, we determine a sensitive in the cost function j theta to each of these theta weight parameters. Power display function. Although the power to display function by feedwards network depends on the depth of breadth of the network, the following can be stated as general rules. The first one is Boolean function. Each Boolean function can be implemented by two-tier network, and the second one continuous function. Any finite continuous function can be approximated by a two-layer network. the relevant theory is true for network that use a sigmoid function in a hidden layer and the linear layer in the output network. And the third one is custom function. Any custom function can be reasonably approximated with a three-layer network. Type of network training. The first one is supervised learning or supervised, which focusing on a specific topic and providing various examples of it. The network will analyze input information and examples so that after a while it will be able to create a new type of identify examples you have never seen before. And the other one is unsupervised learning. It is a higher level of learning that is less used today. The purpose of using neural network. The first one is adaptive learning. Adaptive learning is the ability to learn how to perform tasks based on information given to it. The second one is self-organization or organizing. An artificial neural network to automatically organize and present the data received during training. Neurons adapt to the learning rule and the response to input change. The third one is real-time operators. Computation in artificial neural network can be done in parallel with special hardware designed and built to get the best result from the capabilities of the artificial networks. The fourth one is fault tolerance. By causing a breakdown in the network, some efficiency is reduced, but some of its features are still maintained despite major problems. The fifth one is classification. Neural networks are able to classify inputs to receive the appropriate output. The sixth one is generalization. The property enables the network to obtain a general rule of thumb by dealing with only a limited number of islands and generalize the result of these licenses to pre-observation. The ability is absence of the system to remember intentionally many facts and relationships. And the last one is stability or flexibility. And neural networks is both suitable enough to retain its learning information and has a flexibility and adaptability to accept in new cases without losing previous information. Simulation and result. Feature conversion itself can include feature extraction, feature reducing, and feature conversion steps, each of which has different methods. One When on the other hand, property conversion can be done as linear conversion, such as linear resolution analysis (LDA), or nonlinear transformation, such as kernel-based resolution analysis. Feature converse is the process by which a new feature set is created from the point of view. Feature generation and feature extraction can be considered as a type of feature comparison. Both methods are commonly refused to us. Both methods are commonly referred to as feature discovery. In creating a feature, the process is associated with the producing of a new feature, so that in addition to the initial feature, the generated features are also added to the feature sets. The feature extraction process is a mapping function from the main feature space to the new feature space. Feature creation increases the number of features, while feature extraction decreases the number of features. Feature selection select the subset of main feature without changing them, and also includes some sorts of feature reducing. In this program, PCA methods is used to extract the feature, and then the face recognition step is performed using neural network. BPNN is the type chosen for the use of neural networks. Thank you for your listening, Doctor.